So, I am here today to talk to you all about how much of a hypocrite I am. In several videos of Dragon Heist, multiple times, and replying to comments, I have said that you don't really have to link up Dragon Heist and Mad Mage, and it's a bit strange to go from one to the other. But recently, having discussions with our DM for for Mad Mage, who hadn't actually run Dragon Heist prior, he got burnt out on it a lot quicker than he would have if he hadn't run Dragon Heist beforehand. And it's in a much more subtle way, but I am going to go back on what I've said, and I think that Dragon Heist and Mad Mage do pair up very well together. I'm going to tell you how. So this is a one-off Dragon Heist video. At the moment, we're doing a Tomb of Annihilation series, but I'm going to occasionally cut off the regular routine to talk about something that's came to my head and that I want to talk about ASAP. So I'm gonna talk about a discussion that I had with the DM, James, and why he'd eventually kind of ended it. And I think that for him the main reason was because in the adventure there wasn't much else to do apart from the doors and the hallways and the rooms of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And what solves this problem is the existence of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Waterdeep Dragon Heist kind of sets up a much larger story and gives you, from levels 1 to 5, plenty to do and a satisfying conclusion, but it's not nearly over. And it could branch off from 5 to 10 to even 15 if your party really go that far. And one of the main ways that that can be done is by adding the Mad Mage expansion to Dragon Heist, because it gives the party a lot more to do other than just the main story that happens in Dragon Heist. Also, if you're going to switch to Mad Mage after Dragon Heist, I would recommend that you switch to the experience system so that it kind of incentivizes them to go through Dragon Heist and Mad Mage at their own pace, rather than feeling like, oh, we need to complete a floor of the dungeon before we continue with our Dragon Heist story that we kind of really want to get back to, because then we won't get a level and we'll be just stalling that for ages. So XP definitely works a little more for this. I did a video a bit ago about using XP in Tomb of Annihilation, and some of the advice translates over to this, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. But yeah, it kind of gives them more to do outside of that Dragon Heist story. Dungeon of the Mad Mage can take your players all the way to level 20, but I think that the main substance here is the fact that, and at least that's how James ran it, we could return back to Waterdeep whenever we wanted. But when we did, it felt much more like a pit stop rather than we had a buttload of stuff to do there. We'd talk to James about a few things that we want to do, and then after we do it, we'd go back down, as if it was a session of downtime in essence, which is perfectly fine in how many Dragon Heist and Mad Mage sessions do tend to go with the way that it's structured. But I think that if our party had ran all the way through Dragon Heist first, we really wouldn't have, because I'd actually ran them through it like really not long before. But if we had done that, we would have a home, NPC contacts that we knew and trusted, factions that we could get quests from, and way more things that kept us rooted in the place. And even quests that our DM could simply just throw at us at any point. Whenever I next intend to run Dragon Heist, I'm likely gonna do Dungeon of the Mad Mage right afterwards. Because of the way that Mad Mage works, the party can return to the surface of Waterdeep at any time they want, which I think is the main reason why Dungeon of the Mad Mage has Waterdeep in front of it, because it expects all of the things from levels 1 to 5 that a party did in Dragon Heist to carry over to this. There are plenty of references within as well, I believe, to things that are going on in the surface and affecting the surface as much as they are underneath, which kind of emphasizes that the war that's been going on the surface, barely in small increments from levels 1 to 5 in Waterdeep, are very much more serious underground and are going on in much larger senses. I think that the change of atmosphere is also quite good if you were running Dragon Heist for new players and you wanted to show them a bit more of how more of a complex dungeon works and how much more of a game that D&D can be, because Mad Mage really leans into that. You're going to have a combat every session, guaranteed, pretty much. We only had one session where that wasn't downtime, which was a whole bunch of exploration and negotiation, which could be encounters in their own right. But it is much more jam-packed and filled with things to constantly throw at your party in comparison to Dragon Heist, which is also pretty similar, but it's normally in a much more roleplay sense. And I think the the way Mad Mage and Dragon Heist themselves, the main stories, don't tie in that well is perfectly fine, because the stories can be separate. The party could be exploring a dungeon purely to explore a dungeon, then go back to the surface after they've collected 2 or 3 magic items and gained a level, and think, maybe we want to deal with that bad guy that was giving us a lot of problems that is nowhere near being sorted yet. We could perhaps infiltrate their lair, because a lot of the places in the book are not really meant to be explored that much through the course of Dragon Heist. Xanathar's lair has a chance of the party meeting Xanathar. I have a video on an encounter with him and them, and how it should really not be combat until they are actually level 12 or 13. And if they stumble in there and make too many wrong moves, the Xanathar is just going to kill them. So I think that they're there because they intended to release Mad Mage not long afterwards, and it be a place to return to. There's even a place in Mad Mage that directly leads into the Beholder's lair, the Xanathar's lair. And I think that that's pretty damn interesting to me, at least in my opinion. But yeah, there's plenty of ways that it does link in and makes it more interesting. If you're a DM running it as well, if you're running Dragon Heist right now and you're thinking, maybe I want to do something different, Mad Mage is probably the most well catered to the fact that the party has history in Dragon Heist. It doesn't really say too directly, but if the party want to go back to Waterdeep, having all those roots in the city is so much more satisfying. Be able to go back to your home, perhaps you've established it as a tavern, you've got passive income on the surface, you're businessmen now. And there's other things as well. You could improvise more faction missions along the way to get them really diving deeper, get them to perhaps want to interrupt more Xanathar operations underground, get them to meet with a Zentarim, deliver an object, and then the Zentarim agent sends them somewhere else. Stuff like that could really emphasize that despite you not being on the surface, you're still very much linked to your history up there and what is now forming underground, which I would imagine in the later floors get crazy. But yeah, if you're a DM and you're thinking of just doing Mad Mage, consider establishing with your group a history in at least the city that's above the ground. Doesn't have to be Waterdeep. That you could have it any other city. You could have it be, you know, Luskan. You could have it be Baldur's Gate. You could put Undermountain really anywhere. It just fits the best in Waterdeep, personally. And yeah, if you really kind of like wanted to do Mad Mage ASAP, maybe just talk to your players in a session 0 about their party already being pre-established, and that maybe they are they've got their house and they're members of factions and stuff, so that even if you haven't run all of Dragon Heist and didn't want to, your players have much bigger roots. And it's always good to at least read up on a bit of Dragon Heist and look into perhaps how the factions work and how the Trollskull Manor works. But yeah, I think that's about it that I wanted to say. Going back on something I've said multiple times, I would like to apologize for misrepresenting things, but I am a growing person, and I realized a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, that Dragon Heist works with Mad Mage, and I was like, anyway, if you like this advice, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos somewhat like this. You can also comment and tell me that I'm wrong. And you could also join the Discord and tell me I'm wrong. Or you could tell me I'm right, which would be kind of cooler, in all honesty. No, but for real, constructive criticism is welcome. I know it's kind of still a bit of a hot take. Like, some people still don't really find the jump, like, making too much sense. And I guess that it's fair if you've run mostly roleplay driven games. I didn't really properly experience putting players through actual dungeons until a year into my DMing career, because I didn't think that they were fun, and then I ran them and they were fun as hell. I almost said an F word there, but I'm trying not to. But yeah, thank you for watching. See ya. What the hell is that? It sounded like a full-on tree being felled.
No, I don't think it's a tree. I think someone's doing building work.
Oh, right, cool. I'm gonna do not Tomb of Annihilation because I came up with a new idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's that you actually should link Dragon Heist and Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Oh, you're going back on everything, you snerd.
Because of the last few weeks and what James has told me about his experience with it.